Well, hello everyone who made it all the way to the end of Chapter 3, Behind Closed Doors, the Makeover Series. Thank you so much for watching. I want to point out a couple things going forward into Chapter 4. So, in the introduction, I mentioned the two vanishing points. Remember, if you watched that, you would have caught it. So the two vanishing points would be in the two far corners of the upper of the ceiling, going out, beyond those corners. So that's where it would start, and then it zoomed in and got bigger as they met in the center. So I had that sketched out. If you haven't watched the introduction, it was there. There's also a third vanishing point. Can anyone guess where it is? I bet you most artists can. Since we're dealing with the ocean or the seawater, this tropical seawater cave here, that middle turtle, the one in the center, he is coming from a vanishing point, so to speak. Because if he was going the other way as he's coming from it, we can see him. If he'd go away from it, he would go out of sight. He would vanish. So that would be the third vanishing point. Chapter 4 is going to bring us into where I need to do a little more shading on the upper middle section of the cave rock there. And then the little white squiggly things haven't been defined yet, so there's a lot of shading and layers to put there, to add detail to them. The three sea turtles I haven't really done anything with. I might on the center one just do a little more with him to blend him with the water, because I want him to take on the seawater tones until I add his colors to him, so that he will look more natural as being underwater. I'd like to do another layer on the sand. I have the first base coat down, but build up on that a little more to add a little more definition. It won't be finished by any means, because there's many layers that go into this. The rocks going up the stairs, I would like to define a little bit more. There's going to have some coral reef there. The coral reef that I did do are not defined yet. There's a lot more detail to add. The other ones were just chalked in with acrylic sticks. By Prismacolor has these acrylic sticks that you can use if you add water or blend them with other paints. They work, but I just use them just to kind of put in a undercoat into things and get an idea so I can visualize, because I'm still putting this all together. So Chapter 4, look for the rock definition and a little bit more work on the sand. That'll take up most of it. And detail work, of course, I'll start out with finishing that upper cave, blending it over, from the white squiggly things over to, where the corners meet there, where that littlest sea turtle looks like he's going up into, the light source. We'll work on that. Thank you so much for watching. I know I sound very tired, but it's been a long week. And thank you again for watching. I can't express my thanks more than that. I really do appreciate it. If you do like, you may not see that you like, but it does count for the algorithm. I see it, and I like it. It does give me a little more encouragement if people are actually enjoying this with my very base camera. Any suggestions for a better camera for this particular work? I'm in the market to buy some. I looked at one that I could get the tripod and the whole bit with that I'm considering. It's a Sony model. If you think of something better for someone that's just kind of amateur, but for this particular work that's not super expensive, because I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars on a camera, I'd say $1,000 and under to start would be a good starter camera for this, where I could zoom in and you could see the detail better, because this bright light works against that middle plastic. What that is a window. And so when the sun's out, the two lights fight, and you see towards the end of this Chapter 3, you saw the camera kind of glitching out, and it did that at another spot. That's when the sun is really hitting there. And then I have these bright LED lights facing, so I think it confuses the sensor in the camera. So I apologize for that. But again, it's not a very it's a pretty base camera here. I can't really do any kind of adjustments that I'd like to show you more. So subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment. I particularly like encouraging comments. You can let me know how amateur I am and how blah 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 I am. I'm just not, this is new for me, so I'm learning as I go. So hopefully, as we get going down the road, everything will improve. And may God richly bless your day.